and different.
Well, they're the same as Trader Joe's.
No, they're not.
This is
They're
what
really
this is what I need.
No, the families
What's it
are
say?
distant.
We are live.
Okay.
I don't have any internet.
That's what you have to do.
Nobody does.
Be very clear.
We don't?
Very, like, interrupt them. Okay, be darn near rude. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Jose, because we didn't know last time. We have no internet?
No, we do now. It just doesn't.
Well, great.
They turned it off.
Internet.
You know, we used to do this. Individual units now. Oh. We would speed that. Yes, I think that's 7 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was over the.
Pat did the decency.
That's good. Well, I don't, you know, this is, Evan's room.
Yeah, that's what I was on, but it's not working. So.
I'm sure if I saw it.
Yeah, Justin pretty much is like. Oh, maybe it's just that.
Libby, colors done, and I'm saying.
Yeah.
Goodness. Mhm.
There we go.
I have one new one for you that. Is that what you want? Is that correct? All right. Love this one.
Like being a kid, like your own.
I love your mural.
Oh, I do too.
So beautiful.
I was glad you put where it was. I couldn't quite figure out where you were from the pictures. Okay, gonna call the meeting to order with roll call vote.
Ryan House,
Here.
Fox,
Here.
Schroep,
Here.
Mac,
Here.
Berglund.
Here. Are there any additions or amendments to the agenda?
Yes, I have one correction on the consent agenda. We were asked to remove Amanda Foreman, the span care leader, and add Van Solen and Morale Lines.
Okay. What was that second thing, Heather?
Add Morale Lines, Van Solen, and remove Amanda Goodman.
Those are the only corrections then.
That I have.
Approve the agenda with those corrections.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. This time we welcome visitors for public comments. We know, just 1 second, I have to read this. As we begin our agenda tonight, let me explain our process for public comment. On behalf of the board members, I invite any member of the audience to approach the microphone with comments about items of interest or concern. Please begin by stating your name and contact information. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes so we can keep the meeting moving in a timely fashion and allow others an opportunity to speak, as well as allowing the board to complete the agenda in a timely manner. Comments from the public are not limited to items or topics on tonight's agenda, but they are limited to matters within the board's authority. Please understand that we as a board cannot discuss items not already on the agenda. Iowa Sunshine Law prohibits us from having a discussion without the proper notice to all of the school district community that the issue would be discussed at tonight's board meeting. Also, please remember you are making comments in a public meeting. Should you make comments that the subject of the comments considers to be inflammatory or libelous, you as an individual may be subject to legal action brought by the subject of your comments. Thanks for your support of our school district. That's kind of lengthy, but
My name is Caitlin Moser. I'm a paraeducator at the middle school and I have a daughter starting preschool this year. I come here today to talk about the rise in school shootings, as I'm sure everybody has been aware of. Most shootings happen by past students ages 18 to 19. So they know, our weak spots, they know how to get in, they know doors are propped open. That's the big thing that I would like to talk about tonight. A lot of times the exterior doors get propped open, whether for sports teams or kids going out to recess, teachers leaving it open for kids to come back in after going outside for whatever reason. And I propose to correct that. We should install alarms on all exterior doors that activate after 60 seconds or, 2 minutes if we need it to be longer for large groups of students coming in at a time. Another concern is that the classrooms in the gathering spaces in the middle school grade levels do not lock. And that is another issue that we perhaps need to find a solution to. With my daughter starting preschool this year, it is a huge concern of mine, especially with the most recent shooting that happened. It was at an elementary school. And I don't want to have to be terrified for her to go to school and worry that when I put her on the bus in the morning, it might be the last time that I see her and then I won't be able to help her. So I just ask for the board's consideration in implementing these safety measures for the staff and for the students.
thank you. Anyone else? Thank you for your comment. Dr. Ann Lundquist.
I do, and thank you. I've been collaborating of late with Justin DeVore and Dr. Schilling, along with our building administrators, as we plan forward, not only for our opening day meetings, which are beginning this week for new teachers and next week for our veteran staff. We are establishing a coordinated approach to our work together to a number of reasons, to align ourselves more effectively, but also show the positive things that are happening in Charles City schools. So we were in a collaborative learning experience last week, sponsored by SAI. So you will see more on this effort, but we're calling it What's Going Well. So highlighting the important things that we do here in our schools, for our community, for our students, for our families. So look forward to that. More information will be forthcoming. This information, item number 2, is something that's likely you are familiar with, but for those who might be watching from home or those who are listening here with us this evening, an independent financial audit conducted by Nolte, Cornman and Johnson, PC, determined that our district maintains a high level of compliance with state and federal regulations. It provides clean accountability in the use of government funds and therefore qualifies as a low-risk auditee. This is something that we can be proud of, and with no material weaknesses, the internal control over our financial reports and our major programs is quite a feather in our cap. So I wanted to call attention to that good news. And finally, Thanks to our talented pool of Charles City School volunteers, RAGBRAI was a success. As you know, we had a number of our schools and properties involved. And although our revenues were down somewhat, we can say with confidence that everyone was able to enjoy the event and there were no major issues. So kudos to our staff and our, who volunteered and or helped in other ways. That's all I have. Yes.
SAI.
School Administrators of Iowa. Thank you for that chance to clarify. It is the professional organization for school administrators in Iowa. They host an annual conference and we were able to attend and learn together and spend time setting forth our plans for the coming year. So I think you'll appreciate that more coordinated approach.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? Motion? Yeah.
I make a motion to accept Dr. Ann Lundquist's August 8th, 2022 superintendent report as presented.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to accept Dr. Ann Lundquist's August 8th, 2022 superintendent report is presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Thank you. And mission and vision.
Yes, you have had a chance to review the proposed draft of a vision, somewhat revised from previous verbiage, as well as a new mission, guiding principle, and values in the form of Comet Pride. We have vetted this work with representatives, our association members, and leadership have been made aware. We have shared it with our staff, with you, and I feel confident that this revised work will set a solid foundation for the upcoming work in our revised strategic plan, which, as you know, sunset came to a close, if you will, in the spring at the end of the school year in 2022. So we'll be launching a new 5-year plan with 5-year annual goals as well as long-term 5-year goals. And I'll be bringing that information forth at a future meeting. But this would be the foundation for that work.
So you need to read through it. Ken, you want to, you like to
Sure.
read?
I will read. Okay, so the Charles City Community School District draft, our vision, that is what we aspire to become, to develop learners who are competent, compassionate problem solvers. Our mission, that is what we do to achieve our vision, to challenge all students to achieve their full potential through engaging, responsive, educational experiences that inspire innovation, critical thinking, and collaboration. Our guiding principle, that is a deeply held, enduring belief. We believe all students can achieve at high levels, and we are committed to supporting their learning. And finally, Comet Pride is, and that is what we value and hold in high regard, integrity, courage, resilience, excellence, and responsibility. Thank you. Comprehensive, but not too wordy.
And you did this in 1 month. That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Thank you. We have a great team here at Charles City.
Suppose it helps that there are no students right now, right?
We can really get some work.
Yeah.
We need a motion to
Yep.
accept these then, and we're in the process of getting those on our,
New strategic plan, that's correct.
I make a motion. We accept these as they are presented.
I will second.
I'm gonna read the recommendation. Motion is
I'm just
okay with
asking
you.
what that noise, there's a noise.
Somebody still comes to me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's probably yours.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the new mission and vision as presented and to update all corresponding documents / signage to reflect. David Jones?
That's second.
It's been read.
All right. Although, is there further discussion? All those in favor, to approve the new mission and vision as presented and to update all corresponding documents signage to reflect such. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. That's 5-0. Okay, handbooks. Are there any questions about the handbooks?
Again, fun work. It's inspiring.
I have maybe one question, a couple questions. So looking at the administrative support handbook on page 2. Under wages and fringe overtime.
This is
that-
page 2.
Page 2, yeah, so like the first page after the cover page. Where it says wages and fringe overtime, is that the hourly wage that we're paying?
I can help you with it.
And then, yes, just, I don't want to understand, because it says fringe overtime, but it doesn't have an overtime rate. So I just don't want to just understand that a little better. Is the thought process that these are the hourly wages, and then we have a structure for overtime, which doesn't seem to be laid out? Or did I just miss it?
I think it's on the next page. Overtime will be at 1.5 times the normal rate of pay.
Okay. And the senior leader approves, and that's pulled from their building budget, the general fund, because if they approve it, but there's no money to do it, how do we handle that? And how do we make sure that we're being equitable across the board for people? Right, and because we had a conversation last week about paying people for work duties that are kind of their responsibility and should be included in the work. So just making sure that we don't continue that practice, and now we have this huge $50,000 overtime bill and stuff.
So all overtime has to get approved by a senior leader ahead of taking the overtime. If it's not approved, well, then that's a disciplinary issue. So it's the responsibility of the senior leader to make sure that funding is available for approving overtime.
So if I understand our union contract, is that if they take overtime, we have to pay them whether it's approved or not. Is that true?
Which are you looking at?
Yeah.
So if they just take, they say, well, I want to do the work, I'm going to take the overtime, we have to pay them based on the contract, and they don't, we could recommend them for the action, right? We still have to pay them.
That's where I start consult our legal counsel to see how they want to proceed with that.
So, and then we had an issue earlier this year with that particular situation with the person, right? And they were taking overtime that was not approved, and we ultimately had to pay them all that overtime. So just making sure that we don't get ourselves into a situation like that.
Yes.
This particular one you're referring to, the administrators.
Yeah.
Who does that one apply to?
So that'd be confidential secretary. So it's a lot of central service office employees and then the secretaries in each building.
Are they union?
They're not union. They're not union at will.
So nobody in this particular handbook is union.
Correct.
So that this applies to. And these numbers here, this start, step 1, step 2, that's the wage, right?
Yep. That's their lane change. It's officers of service.
Yeah. So if they do overtime, then it should be approved by
Their leader.
So it's not a union issue for this.
Well, I guess I don't want to go great detail, but we had this issue last time with a employee who was taking overtime without being approved. Yep, and so the way I understood is that the way the contract was structured is that the person got paid for it, whether they took it or not. And so we just don't want that as an issue where everybody's just saying, I want some overtime, so I'm just going to take it, have to pay me.
Mhm.
We've had all kinds
I
of.
remember talking about that. I understand this is supposed to prevent that because it has to actually be approved or it's not going to be paid, right?
Correct.
If it gets approved, somebody has to actually think about it. I won't.
Figure out where they're paying.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That's good.
Then this one, just for this particular handbook, is just for people that fall into that category.
Correct.
That's all I want to add. So.
Anything else?
Let's get through you to clearly correct. I'll make a motion to approve the handbooks for the 2022-23 school year as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the handbooks for the 2022-23 school year as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. These are approved 5-0. Okay, I'm on the next one. I don't know if any of you saw this besides me, but in the IASB correspondence that we got a week ago, Friday, I believe, or it might have been further ago than that. They're having a special meeting to in September to amend the bylaws of IASB because they want to make it optional to belong to the NSAB, the National Association of School Boards. There's background information here that I sent to you about, they tried to do this last year, but they didn't give a rationale or a reason for why they wanted to do it last year, so it didn't pass. In fact, I spoke against it because I didn't know why they wanted to do it. And this year, they're telling us why they want to do it, and they want to make it optional. And there's also a new state, Midwest states that are school board association that's starting up. And so I think I kind of got the idea from a phone call I got last night from the Waverly board president, who happens to be the legislative person on the IASB board, that they would kind of like to join this new organization that other school districts or other states in the Midwest are joining. So they'll still have some national presence, but it won't be the national NASB. And it has to do with some letters they wrote and some just some things they've been doing that they don't like. So the point is we need to elect a delegate for September. It's a 6 o'clock Zoom meeting on a Wednesday, and I can't remember the exact date, and my internet is out. and not coming up.
Mine just refreshed.
Just said for September 13th.
Okay, September 13th at 6 o'clock via Zoom. And it can be me, and I would do it, but I also would like to know how you feel.
I think we should withdraw from the NASB. I think that this,
The IASB.
No,
Yeah.
what they're proposing, allow the amendment.
allow the amendment and we did have that on there. They had this other one, but I think that they're leaving it open-ended.
Yeah, they are.
That
They are,
have-
so that they can choose.
Right, and that would be fine. Right now, they have this map of consortium
Mhm.
of state school board associations. Some states are both 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Some independent, but.
And I think earlier this summer too, and I don't know if everybody gets it, because I can't tell who gets what. And so Lisa Bartusek, who's
Executive director.
what?
She's the executive director.
Yeah, executive director, she had written a letter being disgruntled with it. NASB also, so okay,
I'm fine with.
all right. So the motion is to approve someone as the special director, and
Can we say, do you want to do it
I can do it, yeah,
with our direction that we would go to?
do that,
Withdraw from the NASB. and-
yeah, to allow the amendment to go,
To go.
the amended.
Open-ended, correct.
Yeah. Is that okay with everybody?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
So you want to read
To approve.
number 7? Yeah.
President Pat Rottinghouse as the special delegate for the upcoming assembly on September 13th, 2022 at 6 p.m. via Zoom.
there a second.
I'll second. Representative Stroud Bat.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve Pat Rottinghouse as a special delegate for the upcoming assembly on September 13th, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. via Zoom, and I will vote to amend, for the
Vote for the
amendment. Yes, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. 5-0. Okay, so now consideration of the consent agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. As amended.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. 5-0. Upcoming important dates. Our next board meeting is August 22nd. 6:15 here in the library. Oh my goodness, the meeting is adjourned at 6:37.
Mine's left.
9, 10, 11.
You got a whole bunch of them.
I don't have them.
One
Oh,
for each
no, I'm
person.
sorry. I thought that was part of the consent agenda. Excuse me. Okay,
The numbers.
I'm sorry. I read it wrong. I thought that was all part of the consent agenda. I'm not used to having something after. Go ahead. Information on St. John's Preschool. That's you.
Close.
Yeah, just,
Hold on.
we want to see you in that.
You come, you speak. No.
No, we just, St. John's reached out to us to become a community partner with our preschool. So what that means is just gonna give more access to free preschool for 4-year-olds in the community. They'll work with us at our professional development and just kind of align a little bit better for transitioning our kids into kindergarten.
How's that?
So the children of that age, they can still, they go to St. John's.
Yes.
At their facility,
Yeah,
but what they do there helps them.
yep,
They
they've,
come over here to kindergarten or.
yes, they would come to kindergarten. So Central Preschool is already one of our community partners. So really just collaborating with them. We've invited them to all of our PLCs and our professional development this year so that when kids transition from either of those preschoolers into the public school setting, that they'll all be kind of cohesive and on the same page and
Sure.
things like
And
that.
it's a more aligned and cohesive approach, everything from the curriculum to the expectations. And there's a financial benefit as well. Perhaps Evan could speak about that.
I mean, we can claim half a student and enrollment of the partnership, but some of the money does go back to St. John's to help them sustain their program, but they can align with our curriculum. Helps them just so they can pay their teachers how they see it. So maybe it's good.
Yeah, and I think it's like, again, I think it just benefits all of our kids in our community, gives options for parents to have that access to that free preschool and then transition to our kindergarten.
Thank you. Thanks, Annette. Interest update. I'm assuming that's you, Evan.
Yeah, so we currently bank with CUSB. This year, the bank is moving towards doing a floor bottom interest rate, so we can never go below 0.5% interest on our investments or our funds that are out there in the bank right now. That's new starting August 10th. So I just want to give you guys an update with that letter. But we are due for bank bids for the 22-23 school year. So if we do not like this or we want to move forward elsewhere, we can discuss that at the school year. So
The typical normal thing for a bank to do a floor for.
when interest rates went way down, what they're seeing is we were actually not gaining anything with interest. So they thought it'd be a benefit to their customers to put it forward, like you'll never get less than this. But if it's more than that on a 0.8 basis,
Yeah.
you'll get the higher rate.
So can you just make a note if the interest rates continue to stay low? That when we look at other, I mean, if we were to ever look at other banks or whatever, to make note to see if they would have the floor option.
Yeah, so when we go out for RFP, we go out to bid, those are all the things that are discussed. That's what their interest
But I
rates
mean,
are.
like, can we make note just to see like if all banks are doing that or just the CUS? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Well, we have money though in more banks than CUSB, don't we?
We have banks that are like different. depositories.
So have any of them sent a letter saying that they were gonna do this?
No, this time.
So maybe just something to keep. note of.
Okay, and when do we put those bids out?
We will discuss it later this spring if we decide as a board that we'd like to go to bid and not renew CUSB. We go out
This
this
is
spring.
just a floor, it's more for our protection.
Correct.
It's actually more of our protection, yeah, so.
But to see if it's a competitive thing, other things. Okay, very good.
All right. Thank you. And the audit report.
Yeah, I mean, and touched base on this already, so our most recent audit has become available, it's on the website, it's been sent to the state auditor's office to be reviewed on the website. I've attached it here and also attached, we had to file for 2 different extensions as a result of our audit partner being sick for an extended period of time. So I just wanted to be transparent, show you guys the reports out there, everyone to review if they'd like.
Thanks for your work, Evan. We finally do.
And Justin, is there you put out the press release about this? So it could be in the paper tomorrow, could be.
It's already online.
All right,
Thanks,
it's
Justin.
online, thank you. Okay, now important upcoming dates. And now adjournment at 6:43. Thank you, sorry.
Nice.
I misread that
Your beavers.
completely. Well, no, I just thought it was